ESL One, New York.
Never mind.
The CIS region coming in hot off a major final, but not as hot into this tournament. A little bit colder start earlier as they find themselves now facing an elimination match in what will be against the likes of the Swedes, plus one Belgian in Scream. Somehow found his way over that way. Either way, yes, this is an elimination match between the two. My name is Trace Saranthus, and we're going to be trying to dissect this one. We have a new but not so new face now joining us on the desk. It's going to be a little bit of Duncan now alongside of us. We've given Chad the rest of the evening off. I think he's starting to feel a little ill, unfortunately for him, as we just got here.
All right, nothing to work with on that.
Didn't know if you guys were saying anything about Chad.
I hope he's fine.
Like, there we go. That's what I was looking for.
Maybe he's a little down under the weather. There we go. That's about all we've got.
That
keep
was
going.
not bad.
Keep it rolling. Keep it rolling.
Okay.
Keep it rolling. Down
Down under the weather, but not to be confused with just how down Na'Vi are right now. We couldn't have anticipated them having this rough of a start here in New York, but certainly they have found that rough footing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, also we've seen Liquid struggle starting in their last game. It seems like teams who have gone long in the major have had trouble starting to play here, obviously with a very small break, no time to really refresh or rest, just travel, coming here, play instantly, whereas other team which have had lighter schedule, they come here prepared, they are actually ready for the tournament. So it's never easy for either Na'Vi or Liquid.
Well, let's just continue the conversation around Na'Vi. In fact, let's go ahead and meet the players that will be donning that yellow uniform. Let's go ahead and take a look.
Edward. The veteran of this Na'Vi squad, Edward must facilitate the players around him. Flamey. Silent but deadly. Taking the weight off Flamey's shoulders has proved a strong move. Zeus. After a controversial reintroduction, recent success seems to have silenced the doubters. Electronic. The man of the moment, Electronic has revived this Na'Vi lineup. Simple. Boasting a level of skill never seen before, Simple can dictate a game from start to finish. This is Na'Vi.
This is not a Svenseer. You see him getting buckled in and ready for what could be a brief trip here in New York. But that's only assuming they don't figure out their internal stuff.
One of the things about Na'Vi that makes it almost unthinkable to imagine them going out in last place is this is a team which arguably might have the two best players in the entire tournament. Like, that really is the level that Simple and Electronic can seemingly show up at any given game. So you'd think that should definitely give you a very good chance against a team that in theory is going to be playing a little bit more poggy, a little bit more into that style, because the kinds of teams that they struggle against normally is the Astralises of the world. Team Liquid. These are the teams that beat them, and these are the very tactical teams, the teams that have more of the team coordination, as it were.
I agree. I think, as you said, Astralis and Liquid are the only two teams I can picture right now who are true adversary to Na'Vi. Fnatic, I mean, they've run short against Mousesports. We've seen them have struggled on the T side. Obviously, they're here as a mix, Scream helping out as a stand-in. I don't really see where they can outplay Na'Vi in any way. Sure, Na'Vi probably not playing their best right now. They got surprised by Gambit, also in a weird situation. We don't really know what Gambit is at the moment. But anyway, I don't see how they can outpass this opponent, to be honest.
We could even speculate the fact that dead teams play better. It's the weirdest phenomenon across all of Counter-Strike history, and a man that would know that more than anyone else would probably be Duncan. However, that's not what we're going to talk about. We're going to send him now around Fnatic and what exactly the expectations could have possibly been at this point. We do know that they're here with Scream. We do know that this is kind of a weird situation for them altogether coming into this event.
Well, the rough thing for the team at this point is that, yeah, you have to play Na'Vi in the elimination game, so the odds are you going out in last place. Whereas when you looked at this group, you thought, right, okay, forget Na'Vi, they're probably going to win the group anyway. So instead you were thinking, right, it's between Gambit, hey, that might be winnable. Mousesports, okay, kind of a little bit edged towards Mousesports, but, you know, like I saw on the first map, if you turn up, you have a great game, maybe it's possible. The problem is, I think beating Na'Vi in the best of three is too big an ask, especially because added to, like, the fact that the firepower edge is on Na'Vi's side. Obviously, Na'Vi's a better team, more higher ranked. They have a way better map pool than Fnatic as well. Even the old Fnatic, like before they just got rid of Flasher, only had a couple of maps they were actually considered a real threat on, whereas Na'Vi goes all the way deep in that pool.
Right.
And I don't really know that this is a team that's going to be able to play like DOS 2 or something and really be able to give any kind of challenge.
Well, let's go ahead and meet this Fnatic lineup. As if they need any introduction, it does house some of the most legendary names in Counter-Strike. Let's go ahead and take a look.
Exist, a veteran of the scene, Fnatic's in-game leader brings a wealth of experience. Draken, an undeniable talent, the young Swede must now take his game to a new level. JW, three-time major champion, JW's aggressive playstyle can spearhead this Fnatic side. Crims, one of the best in the world on his day, Crims is a force to be reckoned with. Scream, drafted in to replace the outgoing Flusha, Scream has his chance to impress. This is Fnatic.
This is Fnatic, and they certainly do exist down there, if you didn't know that. And I guess what else can we say about this, Duncan?
I want them to do one of those sorts of videos, but for the actual talent at the event. So it's like, Stunner, this ex-Cloud9 manager now tries to make jokes on the... and over to you.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, why not?
You set that
I'm
all
available
up.
to do the voiceover as well, by the way. I don't just write the script. I do the voices as well.
You know, I think if they need a voiceover for the next, like, Goblin in Lord of the Rings, they'll give you a call, but it doesn't sound like that's
mate,
your
you're the one that'd be Goblin in the movie I'm thinking of.
Not really sure what movies it is.
No,
Did you
again,
watch it,
Lord of the Rings. I was also making a similar joke.
Okay, well, maybe next time. Anyway, Maniac, let's talk about this Fnatic lineup and perhaps what Duncan probably should have said, but now that you have the opportunity to say.
Yeah, what should I have said?
No, I'm just going to go back to Fnatic.
Okay, right.
That's fair.
Exactly.
Safe play.
Safe call. No, but the thing is, this Fnatic lineup for me has many, many questions and many uncertainties. I mean, on one hand, Draken, I haven't seen him play the way he could play in this Fnatic lineup. It doesn't feel like he's finding his footing at any point. We know he can be an impactful AWPer. He's a very aggressive type, but he never really found his form. I think the only, the only security in that lineup is Crims. Crims has gone back to his level of style, where he's, in my opinion, a top 10, top 15 player in the world, probably top 10 even, one of the best anchor there is in the game, and he's the only one that's been consistently delivering. Now you add Scream in the mix. I've said it on Twitter. I think this context, this setup is very good and favorable for Scream. Obviously, he doesn't have many structural restrictions. He can probably say, just go to this side of the map and do what you got to do, get some frags, and obviously he can do that. He has shown he has the aim. He's always had a skill that's way above average. So it's like it's a complicated dish. It's like a dish with many different food in it, and you don't really know how it tastes like, but maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, but it's hard to say from the outside.
It's like
Fnatic gumbo.
Yeah, it's kind of like a gumbo.
Yes.
Okay, I can definitely see that. I can understand that. Or a melting pot is what some people have called this.
Like America.
Yes, just like America, Duncan. You have nailed that one. However, this is a best of three, and of course the maps that this comes down to will be a very, very pertinent part.
Yes.
Are there any conditions in which this could go good
there's
way?
a man stood there called Exist, so basically all of Navi's best maps will be picked by Fnatic in the series.
Sick. Can't
No,
wait.
I mean, here's the thing. Obviously, okay, the Fnatic nuke ban is just a permanent ban anyway, and you do know Navi plays it. Cash, also a permanent ban. We know that's going to come in. The question here for me is, what does Fnatic actually pick themselves? Because realistically, you would think they're going to pick Inferno. Now, that is actually not a very good... They have. That's not a very good map for Na'Vi. Na'Vi has a losing win rate on that map. But Na'Vi actually loves that map. Na'Vi have even picked it themselves. It's very bizarre in that sense. I think this is a very intelligent pick by Na'Vi. They have a fantastic record on train. Obviously, we just saw the guys from Fnatic struggle on that. I think they decided being Mirage is a possibility at this point in time. Obviously, it's between that and Dust 2, and I'm going to go ahead and imagine Na'Vi doesn't want that. So I think, actually, if you're the guys from Fnatic, it's not a terrible veto. It's sort of what you'd be willing to play. I think if you're Na'Vi, though, I think it's a pretty healthy one. You like in all three maps, in theory.
Yeah, it is. I would have liked to see Fnatic go for a Dust 2 pick.
Yes.
That would have mean two things. First off, Dust 2 is a brawly, pick-up styly map, which you can prevail even though you are like not a full lineup together. And also that would have left the possibility of Inferno as a third map, which would have been really good for Fnatic. Instead, they pick Inferno, they go to Mirage on the third map, which is also a very good map for Na'Vi. Yes. So I agree with you. I think Na'Vi got the better end of the veto.
Of course. I mean, there's only a few things that do make sense in this world, and one of them might not be Scream running around doing whatever Scream has to do. However, he did have a good showing earlier today, so we do know that he is here to play. He is here to set a tone and make a statement, say, hey, I'm not out of the fight, guys.
And also, to be fair, the third map being Mirage, okay, that is the map that they really struggled on against Mousesports, but they've played it once now. They at least have a vague idea of what they want to do. You're working on something you've already tried in an official game, so that actually might allow you to pivot a little bit and put on a better performance. I also agree, though, I would have loved the Dust 2 pick, especially because, again, this is a map that you don't even know how Scream's going to play on that map in Fnatic.
We're going to be kicking it off here really shortly, so I'm going to have to ask you guys where you land on Inferno at the very least, and we'll start with you, Maniac.
Because it is still, in my opinion, a tactical map, I would give Na'Vi the edge. I really don't see Fnatic beating them on a tactical level, and individually speaking, we've already established that Na'Vi is extremely strong, so I'll go with Na'Vi.
Yes, even though this is a map, that, as I've alluded to, it's not been very kind to Na'Vi, even though it used to be their favourite map at the beginning of the year. I'm going to go ahead and have to say I edge it to them because, yes, sure, the screen factor is there. Sure, it's a good map for Fnatic. These are all ifs, though. I can't guarantee that that's going to happen, so I'm going to go ahead and say Na'Vi should probably edge it.
Edging is a form of art, some might even say. Maybe edging around the scoreboard here, right, Duncan?
The key is to go to the edge, but not beyond.
Not beyond. You never kind of just let it go.
I mean, everyone makes mistakes.
That indeed. Well, it's definitely not Energy, and it's definitely not Liquid, but it is Fnatic.
Speaking of mistakes.
And it is not a sincere squaring off here in a best of 3. One of these teams is going home, and to bring you that action is going to be Henry G and Sadie.
Thank you so much, Trace. Yes, one of these teams going home. One of these teams is not like, I was going to say the other because that's kind of how that goes, but themselves. They don't have Flush anymore, and very quickly Cloud9 committed to him without any regard for Sticko.
Well, they already had Golden there. I guess that was the idea, bring him over and hopefully have the North American-Swedish combo. Excuse me. Fnatic now with Scream in the roster.
It's an age-old combo, that one.
It is a classic. Scream played actually pretty well on Inferno earlier. We'll see whether he can replicate that form here. Nothing to lose. I think the guys earlier on the desk said he was pretty much in the shop window. He wants to show he can still play at top-level CS. I'm sure he can.
Yeah, he's transferred from sort of an anime character to a Spanish footballer.
Indeed.
But we'll see what Simple does toward top middle. You'd have to lean toward Na'Vi, wouldn't you, Hank?
Definitely. They dropped the ball against Gambit. Obviously a bit of an unknown quantity there, considering they come in with Hobbit, who's going to be leaving soon. It's all a bit of a mess in that respect, and maybe just caught them off on an off day. But I expect Na'Vi to take this, especially on Inferno, open things up. Should be the 2-0.
Runners up in the major, perpetually it seems. The third time Na'Vi's fell short. In the final third time with Zeus at the helm, we saw the tears to his eyes. We'll see if they can make amends for it in New York. Remember, they went Cologne this year. They've been New York champions in the past 2 years ago when Simple first joined. That's how long ago it was that Simple joined this team. Isn't that crazy? Speaking of, he'll take down Exist. Just Draken left in a 1-on-4. Yeah, Simple Na'Vi 2 years. It seems like just yesterday he joined this team. It was this event 2 years ago when they won, and we thought, okay, finally they're going to get to that level. And then Guardian obviously left, and here we are. It blows my mind. That feels like it was like 6 months ago.
It is kind of mad how fast it all works out, but there's Flamey finishing it off with a quick headshot there. Fnatic really are going to struggle here, I would say. We'll see what happens, though. Fnatic will be presumably force buying here in the second. I'm not really sure what to make of this team anymore. I assume they're going to bring in some sort of young talent into the squad and try and replicate the success we've seen other big stars have. Brolan, for me, would be a good choice.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. You did hit me with one that I would agree with. I was going to say that the young talent's already kind of been stirring for a bit.
He's like that 16-year-old boy wonder who was in Godsent, I think. Everyone's been talking about him a lot.
Formerly Godsent. Yeah,
Formerly
now
Godsent, yes.
Red Reserve, is it?
Yeah.
No, who picked them up? Was
I'm
it
not
Red
sure.
Reserve?
You'd have to get a young star at this point. You can't just recycle the same old names that they have for the
No,
last 2 years.
and we're seeing that changing of the guard, and I think that a lot of that is now young players finally getting the opportunity. Like, if you think about sort of first and foremost, there's teams that are playing outside of their countries now, but you also kind of region lock yourself by having like Virtus Pro being the top Polish team forever. Where do the younger players come from? They don't get a chance, right? So now is when you certainly would have to start looking when you've got no more else to lose and nothing else to try when among the upper echelon, as Fnatic often is. So that's not a bad shout. Draken, meanwhile, trying to back away toward the arch. Does so successfully as a nade bounces off the wall in front of him, but won't quite catch him out. JW still watching, just a pixel gap to fire at, but needs to be somewhat wary of the fact that there are people to his left, or a person to his left, in Flamey, and that MP5 is making his presence known. Wasn't available to play in the major. Now it certainly is. Does it come at the expense of replacing another gun in your inventory?
No, just the MP7. That's
MP7, that's right. Yeah, it's one or the other. Yeah.
So we'll see. Like, a lot of people, I think, just because it's the first event, everyone's a bit excited.
Yeah, let's give it a whirl.
It actually looks pretty cool. It doesn't seem to be that detrimental at all. Either way, Electronic will open things up. It's Crims who will try and shut them down. And he'll be dropped by Electronic. He was sensational at the major Electronic. He was really, really good for Na'Vi. I guess not so much in the very last hurdle, but overall, he had an amazing tournament for me. And Flamey a lot of question marks around him going into that major in terms of the rumors that I've heard about the roster. Seems like he will be staying after all.
Yeah, the meme was now that Hobbit is on loan, or is
On the bench.
on the bench,
Yep.
is a free agent, I guess you could say.
Getting some
That
kills there.
everyone was stepping up considerably. They are certainly getting some kills. JW takes down Electronic. Hobbit, of course, had a chance to play earlier against Na'Vi.
Save 2 weapons here, one of which is the AK-47. 2 kills for JW. They might have a chance in the next round. They are very scary on Inferno points, especially with just CZs.
On transfer, I guess, is the word I should have been looking for.
He's available.
Well, is he? Excuse me. I'll be right back.
CZs, and they might justify a force buy here. I'm not saying that's for sure. I don't really know what this Fnatic's thinking right now. But if you did, I wouldn't be completely against it. Draken gets out the Zeus. That's all he'll buy. So they're going to be quite conservative. They get another CZ to go with the AK. But this could be dangerous for Na'Vi. Zeus will have B control as he usually does. Flash in the air. Using the Mach 10, trying to get stuck in at the very top here. There's only one player of a helmet, that's JW.
He's a smart man, JW. I always make sure that I wear a helmet while riding a bicycle. Besides, kids extra large. Draken's going to go for a Zeus. We saw a few of these at the Major, most notably, and in fact, all of them in the show match.
Indeed. We saw plenty of Zeus frags as Electronic, well, I've been thinking so. That's actually the key player, JW, who had the AK. So that's a bit of a shame. Bomb goes down, and the AK will be recovered by Crims at least. But
well, you say that. Electronic was posted for that, but it gets it. You're right. Okay.
yeah, he's still got it.
Run it, Flamey. Come on. Let's see that MP5 in action.
It's the Mach 10 first.
Zeus likes that gun still. Just did. And you can see why. C-I-T-Y. You can see why. These guys are city-wise.
Yeah.
It's a show from like the 90s.
I liked it. It was good. 9-0, 3-0. Getting all sorts of confused here as we start to burn the midnight oil. It feels like it's about
yeah, you're a
1 in the
little
morning
on
for
the
me.
European time.
Yeah.
So I stayed on North American time the entire time that I was in London.
I definitely did not do that. So it feels
I don't know that I meant to, but I did.
Oh, it's all worked out for you in the end. Draken with the glass cannon AWP. Crims will be challenging at the very top of B. No significant damage inflicted to either just yet. And Zeus and Electronic battle for the banana control here, dropping all the smokes and trying to avoid the flames. Feels like that second one was a little bit wasted. I'm not sure. But there's Flamey with a bit of a bonus round mentality as he holds up with the MP5 towards Boiler Room. Crims severely lacking now in terms of grenades on that side of the map. It's himself and Scream who have one flashbang between them towards B. That's why they've been challenged some frags here. Crims knows that.
Zist looking for his options. Opportunity. His chance, and he'll get it to swing out from the atrium. He couldn't overcommit. Draken had the angle, but finally they stepped out far enough for Exist to capitalize, and they split the difference, each with 2. No change left over as Scream collects the tip, and just the tip. It's now 3-1 for Na'Vi. I have to say it every time.
Just the tip, okay. 3-1 indeed, but Na'Vi were in a bit of a bonus situation, if you remember, just then. So they can bring out the AKs once more and look to reset Fnatic. Draken, though, still on the AWP, hasn't looked his best today. Caught a few of his maps earlier. Seemed like there was a lot of misses going forward. He really is struggling right now. That incident at the Major with the CIS comment seemed to have affected his confidence quite significantly. really did backfire that one, I have to say, unfortunately for him. But I don't know, he seems like he's been tweeting some odd stuff recently and saying like he knows he'll be playing really bad and he's going to bounce back, this is the usual sort of stuff.
He could have been putting on a bit of a facade with those tweets to try and, you know, a bit boisterous to try and build his confidence up, right? It means tricking himself even.
I really don't think he's in that mentality right now. He's under the microscope. If anyone's going on Fnatic, it will be him. Luckily, like, they have to replace the player that just left first. He can be a good player. It's just I'm just not seeing it right now. That's the problem. But Fnatic in a little bit of turmoil. I have no idea which way they'll go. When I said Brolan, that's just for me. That seems like the only player that seems viable in the Swedish scene at this point for me.
How old's your and Get Right's son? He's got to be.
Sorry, what?
Didn't you and Get Right adopt a child?
We had to give it back.
Oh.
Didn't have the correct paperwork in the end.
No, that's too bad.
It's all legal loopholes and stuff, you know. Boring stuff. But we were trying to, adopt the first. I don't even know if we're going with that. I'm going to leave that. But I've had to say something bad. I'm not going to go down that route. It's going to offend someone.
Don't recommend that.
Yeah. Leave it alone. Either way, 3-1. 25 seconds. Remember, Na'Vi trying to break the finances of Fnatic. This is looking good for JW, though. Great smoke deployed. They've got out the apartments, though. This could still fall apart. Great shot from Edward, but JW still fighting back. So good in the pits. Draken, just a bystander at this point. Needs to start hitting some shots. Gets one, but Zeus will take him down. 2 versus 2 with both the CTs in towards spawn. Bomb down, Flamey and Zeus to defend.
So pit held from Zeus. That's the key. Naturally, the expectation is to stay on top of the site for Flamey. He'll react accordingly. Now, who's going to watch which way? Quite clearly, Zeus wants to look out toward quad. Flamey burrows in. They seem confident no one's coming from library. That is confirmed. Now Zeus knows they have to be coming directly in front. Looks out for the flash. Good damage done. Repeaks it, spots both, and actually takes down the first. And he did more than something, Henry. He did it all.
He did everything. That was perfect. Zeus confidently swings out to finish off the original damage he inflicted towards quad, and then thought, well, got nothing to lose at this point. Flamey should be able to win this round regardless, and nails the shot in the second as well. That was very well done by Zeus, and it does completely break all of the resources for Fnatic here. For anyone wondering what the hell's going on, maybe I'm following the news site recently. Scream, who's currently teamless since MB completely fell apart and is not playing for anyone right now. He'll be just kind of a mercenary for Fnatic at this one event.
His whole life just seems nomadic at this point,
yes,
right?
Indeed.
I have this vision of Scream just kind of like through the desert, one camel, just a little bit of water left over, just trying to find something. That's kind of his career right now.
Indeed it is. I'm not sure what the future holds for him. I've heard plenty of rumours about potential new rosters coming from the French scene, and obviously focused primarily around the 2 removed G2 players. I'm not sure if Scream's involved, to be honest.
Happy and NBK.
Well, and Apex.
And Apex. It's true. Oh, that's a good dink. Pistol. Better play. Exist and Draken set up a crossfire. Flamey's not in position to capitalize. Draken, he's going to get an AK and just sit tight and get the kill as well.
Why are they not smoking middle? At least smoke arch and then focus on quad. Why would you just leave both of them open and think, well, they've got pistols, let's just challenge it straight up? That's just really sloppy play. They'd probably still win the round.
I was going to say, they could still get away with this having gotten
fine,
B.
But like, you just don't need to risk that. Like, what kind of call are you making? Let's just walk up middle and hope there's no crossfire there. At least use the utility. We've had this discussion many times before. Against the world's best, like some of the Fnatic players are, their CZs, their pistols, they can duel you at that range if you allow them to. But this is a great position from Simple. He knows he's won the round. He's not going to overcommit the shots just yet.
Simple and all 3.
That's so brutal. Like, he's so precise. Like, there's not many players that can pull that sort of sequence off. Just so aware, the best position available. Even though it was a 3-on-1, he was going to win. His teammate was nothing to do with that. Pretty mental.
He's pretty good.
Look at this. Transfer towards CT. Just knows where everyone is. Amazing. AWP for Draken.
I still think we need voice packs in the game.
What kind?
So like the terrorist twin and stuff, you could get a voice pack.
In Dota 2 they have like a Rick and Morty one,
yeah,
example,
Dota 2,
right?
that game by the same company that gets all the attention. Yeah.
Not bitter though.
No, not at all.
No.
Dad. I never liked him anyway.
No, that is very true. It's a shame there's no.
But like the point is, like, if there was like
of that sort of stuff.
Yeah, you could put it in the algorithm that if someone hits like 3 kills that quickly to close around, you could just have to be like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Instead of like terrorist win or something. I don't know.
Sure.
Get someone that's actually good at commentating to do it, like James Bardoff or something.
Crims defend with the MP5, flashbang over, and it is very effective. You see, he has to go back. The bar is actually quite weak for the CTs. Scream defending with Crims. This is a weird duo, not one we've seen before. Maybe at a show match or something like that would be all I can think of. And Scream will get the first. Flashed, but he finds the frag. And Crims with the MP5 needs to be baited in here. Crims needs Scream to find multiple kills, which he does. If Crims goes down with nothing, though, it's all in vain. And the MP5 will come out. He gets one.
I love it. I don't even want to commentate when it's shooting.
Spinning away bullets.
It's like one of those sexy telephone voices that is probably a disgusting human being, but they just sound so good.
Yeah.
That you'll dial that 1099 hotline every night before bed just for the voice.
Every night. Yeah, man. I know exactly what you mean. Here we go to the spray attempt from Simple. This time not as successful as the defuse will come in, I would imagine. Yes, it should be quite comfortable at this point. 3 players survive for Fnatic, and that's all down to Scream. Getting it done with the M4 allowed Crims to get 1, and that's all that was required. Yumpy gives out the fist bumps there, and there's Crims JW.
It is Yumpy. It is.
It's what, sorry?
Pure yoy.
Yes.
Yumpy. You gotta some consistency.
He's called Jimmy as well, so I always call him when I
Yimmy?
Yimmy. Yumpy.
And a look at their counterpart.
He hates me, but yeah.
Most people do.
Yeah.
It's fine. Kane behind Zeus, the package deal. We didn't talk about that, actually. Well, you and I specifically didn't talk about that at the Major, but Kane also bringing over the winning experience from the Gambit days.
That's true. That is what he brought. Couldn't quite find the second victory, but came very close.
It was part of the removal process of Zeus, remember, as well, because they wanted to actually remove the coach, and Zeus said, sorry, we're a package deal.
Yeah, that really didn't seem to work out for anyone, really. But
No.
Overall, Na'Vi...
Yeah, I'm going to say Na'Vi it still worked out for.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, in terms of, like, going from winning the Major...
Yes, I totally got what you were saying,
Yeah.
but I'm going to say I think that Na'Vi is a much better team now, and I think that, you know, second place at the Major, the way Astralis is playing, I would argue that they're probably on the same page that Gambit was.
Yeah, to be fair, Gambit just managed to get a massive win as well.
Yeah,
so this is the maddest sequence of events I've ever seen. But either way, we're going in towards the B-side. Draken, like we said, been struggling today. We'll see whether he can start finding some success now. Can't be out-dueled by the AKs here. Fires off a shot, but flash back towards the emo position. Edward at the top. They're going for the full B execution here. Remember, it's a bit disjointed in Fnatic. Scream, great fragger, but can he find his place here? But that smoke is absolutely perfect. Takes the flash to the face. Draken hitting shots now. Can he find multiple? Of course he can. That's much better by him. Scream starts to knock them down too. Draken almost got an amazing sequence there. That would have been really fun.
Still pretty clean, considering he's in a very tight corner and has one angle to fire at. They know where to hold. He gets 3 kills. And they get the round on the Fnatic side. They're third, in fact. Yeah, that's not bad. You're right. The fourth one would have made it look super good for the highlight clip.
Yeah, that's so.
But, you know, it's not always about the highlight clip, you know? Even I can sound good in highlight clips, but the whole cast overall, not that great.
Draken shuts it all down. It was a pretty lackluster attempt from Na'Vi. They didn't really have the weaponry or the utility to go for a full execution there. Ideally, you have a Molotov in that Draken's position. You throw that from the half wall, and there's not really much he can do at that point. We'll see what happens as we get further into the round. This is going to be a full eco, though, so probably not going to be that exciting, I'd imagine. But you never know, those P250s. All it takes is a mistake. And all of a sudden, the rifles can be picked up. But Zeus takes a nade at the very start. 5-4, almost guaranteed at this point. As they wait up, you can use these like timeouts, essentially. And we always talk about the idea as well of when you're on the T side and full ecos, you're trying to bait out as much utility as you can from Fnatic. Or the CTs, I should say more specifically, because every grenade they throw, $300, $200 for the flashes, $300 for everything else, bar the incendiary, which is $600. So if you can get them to throw them out, it actually is worthwhile doing. So that's why they're trying to bait out now. Just show a bit of aggro here. Just bait out an incendiary perhaps, or just get your head blown off by Scream.
That works. He's good at that. That's one thing he does bring to the table. Headshot machine.
What was that one good game he had at the Atlanta Major?
It was when, yeah, Atlanta Major when, that was sick from Draken.
I think it was the Boston Major, in fact.
Yes, everyone calls it, yeah, because Atlanta group, yeah. It was Boston, and it was when their coach had to step in due to illness for RPK, and the coach, his name is...
Malik?
Yes, thank you. Had not played in ages,
yeah,
and never a competitive match in CSGO. And Scream just took matters into his own hands. Why he can't do that all the time is beyond me.
Well, I'm thinking of this sort of team.
Maybe
he can do that. They just say, right, Scream, what are you best at? I'm good at clicking on heads and running around and doing what I want. Do that. No pressure here. Happy can't tell him you can't do that, or I'm doing this. Like, you can just do whatever you want. As Draken's getting some confidence now. It's looking sharp by him. Enjoying it so far, I have to say, and Zeus will actually outplay him completely. Oh my goodness, Edward, how has he pulled that one off? This is brilliant by him. 3 versus 2, Crims and Scream up against it now. But remember, these are 2 of the hardest hitting names in CSGO history, as Scream demonstrates what he can do here. He's looking like he's a little bit more flamboyant than usual, actually taking aggressive challenges instead of holding back and trying to one-tap people. That's actually really fun. Crims, though, makes his way towards quad, and this could be to his detriment because he's got players towards the apartment here. Edwards being very sneaky as he makes his way towards the pit. Checking absolutely everything. Has to make a little bit of noise now if he wants to drop down completely, which he does. Might as well run at this point. And now he's calling that the side's clear, which it is, but Crims isolated towards the quad side now, smoked off. Can maybe use that to his advantage, though. If he gets up on this hay bale, it's not a great smoke. And he can silently get up here, but he can't deny the plant. But he can be patient and maybe find a kill.
Oh.
Spotted one. Oh, doesn't quite find the shot, though. This is now a problem. The incendiary will bait out the player he shot at, but is it going to be enough for his teammate to step up?
From Simple, though. That is sick. Gets up on top of the half wall, has a smoke to work with. Crims can't spot him, and there's no way the flames are hitting him there.
That's true. Great stuff. It's well recovered by a Na'Vi. It was looking like it was going so well for Drak, and he gets the opening pick. Then Edward, out of nowhere towards Boiler Room, drops 2, and the round falls on its ass. It will be Edward with the double spray. Now, I was wondering how he got 2 in such quick succession towards Boiler. They were presumably going for that boost you can do towards the bottom of Boiler, and you can look towards the top of the steps. It's sometimes a move that will not work out for you whatsoever, as demonstrated there. And it will be now Flamey with the option to drop a weapon if required. Looks like they're absolutely fine. He's got an AK on the ground for himself there. Draken still with the orb. The money actually relatively healthy for Fnatic after winning 3 rounds in a row. But Na'Vi was 6 on the T side of Inferno. The future of the Fnatic team really up in the air. No one knows which way they're going to be going. This event, not really too much pressure at all. No one's expecting them to get much further than this stage. All things considered. Bit of a shame that all these crazy roster changes and shuffles happened just after the major. But I guess that's why we need a more regulated and predefined season.
Draken just waiting it out. Be up in hand. What's more, certainly. Smoke down. Molotov back his way. He won't get a chance. Yeah, I kind of agree with the regulated and defined season. I think there's nothing to be...
If you could have the player break, if we knew when the majors were at the beginning of the year, you organise a player break. As soon as the major finishes, you can do all your roster transfers, you can do all that stuff, and base your contracts around it as well, right? That would make the most sense for me. But
there's lots of things that make sense to many people.
Yes, that don't necessarily translate to Valve HQ. It's kind of strange. But we're getting there
in that
slowly.
case, it's not just Valve, but yes.
No, it's lots of different matters. But Valve, they got more stuck in and kind of had more of a overarching...
Yeah, let's go back to criticizing them every day. That was fun.
Yeah.
That's somewhat justified. They've done better in
They have.
the recent
It's getting slowly better, but still not enough. And Edwards, that's a great play by him. Holding up, waiting for the aggression to scream, which he has been showing plenty of. Will be taken down. Exists. Presumably gets this one, no problem. Oh my god, Edward. He's done it. 4-2. And JW's dropped. Draken left towards new boxes. He's got no idea that he's dead because electronics... Oh. Okay.
Carry on?
No, I wasn't going to say anything.
I didn't think you were. Draken realizes now that he is well removed from the equation, and as such positions for survival. So, keeps his op toward ruins. Don't know that he's even going to get challenged. I say that, look at the minimap. Surely they get there in time. Yeah, I was going to say, like, that was where it was. I just wasn't sure about time. But now I
get
see
knifed as well.
There's tons. Oh, Edward, just making no mistake about it. He could have gotten knifed. Look how close he was.
Indeed. That's what I thought. And that should be the eco now for Fnatic. 7-4 down. No money in reserve. I'm going to have to just take CZs here. But, as I always say, Fnatic deadly in these sort of situations. Not necessarily a foregone conclusion they give this round up. All it takes is a JW push and it can all fall apart. Flamey showing us how good that MP5 can do. There we are. It is going to be round number 12. No armor purchased as one smoke for exists.
Back toward Banana. Zeus clears out behind the sandbags. MP9 still in hand. He'll start to work in the site with a bit of confidence because he's got that movement mechanic. As JW spots out to the window, he did hear the Molotov ablaze, but couldn't do anything about finding the thrower, the pitcher, and he was almost the catcher.
Almost.
Almost, but got away. Bottle went right through him, I think, almost. Just under his armpit. Clipped his wing. JW damage, good entrance from Edward. Track it down. So too exists as Flamey found JW in the meantime. Greenwich meantime.
Well, this is the end of the round. Plant the bomb, and that should be it. No reason to hunt these remaining CTs. They've got nothing. Who's that exploring towards B? Zeus. He's got the max tank, but that's just giving it. It was just so obvious that was going to happen, but there we go. Bomb down. It's like I said, it's not really a big deal. It's probably best he gave the max 10 away, so he gets an AK into the next round. But Crims will now have the max 10. I'm almost certain they won't be using that. On the CT side, not worth it. Only good on the T side to run through flames and smokes and surprise players of our helmets, really. Scream with the USP. They are 8-4 down now. Need, I would say, the rest of these rounds to stand any sort of chance against Na'Vi on their CT side. That's where Simple gets in God mode on this map. Not that he hasn't already found that. No reason to hunt, of course.
Just to, you know, get that 40 bomb. Or get that spray control, baby. You get double dinked from that range and still survives.
Yeah, the USP not known for its range.
Who wore the curls the best, Hunden or Edward?
God Hunden.
Yeah, Hunden is a god. He's going 100%.
He always has.
I'd say I can relate, but we know that I can't.
Can't leave it.
Why would I?
No real utility for Draken whatsoever, or kits available for Fnatic. So this is a bit of a troublesome affair for them, but still they can overcome it. Draken's looked pretty sharp today. Need him to be extra deadly here. And round number 13, the Molotov towards the corner. It's being thrown through the smoke. You can see it pushes the CTs back. Exist came for a little bit of fun towards B, but nothing there. And he'll just leave them to their own devices. Scream holding CT spawn. Crim's on the bomb site as Flamey quite quickly makes his way through. That smoke will land, I presume, on the hay bale. You can throw it just directly out towards the balcony like that as well. That doesn't actually work for me. I don't see what the point of that one is.
It covers the entry to pit and that's it. You can't jump down to the left because they'll see you.
Yeah, you can like, it's fine to jump out, I guess, but I really like the one that lands on the hay bales itself, because then you actually don't get grey screen. It still gives you vision and they can't see you. So we'll see where this one goes.
Tracking. Looking for shots toward the apartment, and he'll get one on Flame. He goes back out. Really got the chance to get the head of Edward. It's actually a quick scope that lands on Electronic through the box, mind you. So Electronic somehow survives with 2 HP, and no one really surviving on the Fnatic side except for Crims, and that's because he's not on this bomb site. He's actually on B while he's rotating from.
Absolutely ravished there, haven't they? Crim's got like a maybe 7% chance of winning this map. He went for it. Don't think that's going to be even attempted here. It's got 4 kills. They've got no money.
Can I ask where you got that percentage from?
I worked it out roughly, and I thought it'd be about 10%. That's a little bit too generous, so I took a few percent off just to account for that.
Very strategic and mathematically correct.
So it was a very, very quick maths, I won't lie. But I think maybe we'll get a scientist on it and work it out properly. Work out how smart I am. 9-4.
Won't take long.
It will be CZs and almost a maximum loss bonus for Fnatic coming in. Doesn't really help them out too much on the CT side. Deagles and CZ's coming through. I've built up now. They can win these sort of rounds almost every single time now. It hasn't really worked out for them. So I'm not going to say it, and this will be the time it happens. Here we go. This is another scientific experiment now of the caster's curse.
The Witch's Brew. Almost Halloween, Henry. Not really almost, but kind of.
When you say almost Halloween, do you mean not even the right month?
We're like a week away, dude. Okay, look, if I'm going to be something, I got to start planning now.
Yeah? Okay.
I don't think I've ever dressed up with more than like 2 days
I dressed up
in
as
my
a magician once.
Yeah?
Like a full-on, like,
It's like because you have a magic wand?
Yes, that is why. I did Ghostbusters before.
Okay.
I've done Captain America before.
That's very appropriate for you.
Yeah. What else have I done? I think that's pretty much it. I'll get back to you.
All right. Not Morrissey.
Difficult. That's normally, well,
Every
especially when I was a
day.
younger man, that was definitely every day. It was really a costume towards the end.
Whew, Simple takes down Exist pretty straightforward against the Pistols. Zeus will get up to backside of Library. Good fire back through. He catches out Crims. Bomb to be planted at this junction in the round, and Scream has a deagle. Doesn't he look like he could play for like Barcelona?
Yeah, absolutely. You were spot on with that. But right now, he currently sits on what? Let's have a look. He's actually doing pretty decently. He's got 10 kills, 10 deaths. I'm looking for his 11th here. And if he can steal an AK with that, he's going to hit this shot. Indeed he will, but he won't get the gun. Edward will take him down. 4 players survive for Na'Vi. Round 15 here of the first half, and it just feels like Na'Vi in cruise control now. Not really much Fnatic can say about this one. Just a reminder, this is our first elimination game. Kind of strange to have these two teams here, but Na'Vi lost to Gambit and Fnatic lost to, I can't remember now. Matt, do you remember?
Nope.
Great.
You put me on the spot.
Didn't really work out for us, though, did it?
No. Give me a second. I can remember these things. I'm really good.
You're really smart. He's just racking his brains right now. He's going to be...
Thinking hard, thinking hard. How does this website work? Mouse sports.
That's it.
Nailed it. It was Snacks, remember? We're in
Indeed.
his
We were watching
hometown.
earlier, yeah. Indeed. Oh, this is an aggressive play from Fnatic, but it doesn't look like it's going to be working out. Draken, he'll be towards top and middle. The miss comes in. Flamey punishes it. 4-on-2. Exist and Scream to try and save the day. I feel like Scream will do some damage here, but he actually falls back. And that's a bit of a problem because everyone starting to show presence towards B. This nails a shot on Flamey. It's weird the way Na'Vi operates in this particular situation. They're all alone and thinking the round's already over, it's done. But I feel like they're going to lose it now. Yeah, they're going to be punished for the sloppy play.
Ooh, that body block actually almost killed Exist. He has 3 HP left. That's pretty good. It's 2 HP, I think, from hitting with a smoke. Either way, Exist now has to go back to the other side. That 3 HP might be the problem for him. Scream does have a kit. He's just now arriving to the arch. That's a bit late, in my opinion.
He's got a smoke, incendiary, and a flash. So we'll see whether he can get anything done with this.
Simple's actually, because he's so late, they're expecting that he's actually going to be inside of the apartments.
It's this duo, though. The fact it's Electronic and Simple, maybe this is just over.
Well, that's over for Exist now. And, oh, read like a book, but Simple doesn't hit the shot. Scream, he's got a chance. He knows Electronic's inside of the site, and he'll look exactly for that. It's what he's known for. He's got the kit.
Got it.
Does he? Oh, that's not bad. Well done, Scream.
Easy, no problem. And that's, like I said, I'm kind of glad Na'Vi lost that round because they were just playing like, oh, this is over. But just the fact if you're going to start playing like that, you need to make sure, like teams like Astralis, you'll never see them making those mistakes, right? That's why they're the best. That's why they give nothing up, because when they have advantages, they don't get arrogant and start running around. I feel like Na'Vi can be guilty of that sometimes. That was the lock-in round for them if they just played together as a team. And as I mentioned, for Astralis, you'll never see them doing it. I couldn't poke any holes in their game at all, really. But running around by yourself, when you've got an advantage, that's how you give rounds up. And it will be 10-5 for Na'Vi. Still very convincing scoreline, but we have to go one step further now to close it out.
Still map 1, keep in mind at this best of 3.
Indeed.
Crims, another man that was and this is not a ball joke because he's been bald forever, but greatly affected by the hat rule because he used to have a lucky hat.
He always
that
wears
would
the
wear.
hat. Yeah.
He had that in the city white toque.
Yeah.
It was his lucky hat.
That's true.
Did have to clarify it was not a ball joke.
Well, 5 sets of armor for the CTs here of Na'Vi. Electronic looking to open things up. Spots towards second middle. Doesn't have the challenge there, but he can swap players across. And you can at least say it's not a B rush. Zeus will be watching second middle from corner there. Scream with the P250 armor combo as well. I guess he might be the strongest aimer on the squad right now, so why not?
Yeah, he might be. Aim is literally the characteristic that has defined his career.
At the beginning of his career, sure. I don't think that could be said towards the end of it. Well, not the end of it. You know what I mean. Just with Envious was just dropping out of like the high-end competitive play. He was almost non-existent.
Yeah. Existence is a different French player, just so you know. Crims takes down Zeus. They'll run around, swing back from library, and try and take over the A site as Electronic stays in the pit. Though he's now overwhelmed by Draken. This should be the round.
Yeah.
Fnatic should make this now 10-6. And with that, Edward's just going to try and do damage where he can. Take some armor away, perhaps. There's still small victories to be had. They've got armor themselves. So second round bye, not something you can really do on the CT side. That's pretty sweet, considering Crim's crouched it and everything. Draken really want to take this fight? Does he really want to mess with him? Okay, yes, he does. Sorry I asked.
Yeah. Well, like we said, giving that last round in the first half and dropping the pistol. This isn't over. Fnatic will pick it up quite convincingly there. 3 players to survive. Na'Vi, they love a force buy. They never miss the opportunity. And rightly so. They convert so many of them, you can't be too mad about it. As we'll find out what is in store for us here. Scouts, CZs, a 5-7 for Flamey. And normally maybe a B stack coming in. But time will tell which way they're inclined.
Great shot from Simple. That's pretty stupid that he's able to just nail that with a scout and immediately move on with such confidence and grace. First kill goes their way as a result. Exist pulls Flamey back with a nade. Watch for Zeus as he, very awkward position. He's hugging the wall, but forward of, well, the other wall, the half wall. His cover, so he gets back away. No one able to challenge. 5-7 range, by the way, just to note. So one of the players that has elected to go that direction in his inventory. Guns are now at the disadvantage. Scream goes out for one, but Simple again finding a shot, but finally taken down. Crims gets a little bit too close, couldn't transfer back towards CT. That might be the end of their chances with Simple gone and no one else really close enough to catch them out in transition with Bomb. Crims doesn't want to commit to the plant just yet. Exist only has 19 HP, mind you, so the pistols can still be a problem.
This is still a bit touch and go here. 50 seconds remain, but Crims with an intelligent play towards the first Orange's box. Might not be out of the woods just yet. Doesn't get a plant down, but can he survive? Not quite. Edward up against Exist now. Exist with 19 points of health and no real information. Edward surely has the advantage here, and indeed he'll finish things off. Oh my goodness. Na'Vi swing back as Simple does so much damage with the scouts. They find the headshots required, and then that deny of the plant was absolutely everything there from Edward in the 2 versus 1. As soon as he did that, manages to find Exist with decent positioning, close it all out. It's Simple. Oh, good night, Draken. It was absolutely beautiful to watch. This is why we said they force buy so much, because they can do this. A lot of teams I'd be saying, you've got a big lead here, you don't have to force buy on the CD side. I've stopped saying it with Na'Vi because that happens so often.
Nade back out toward top middle, MP9 in hand. Here we go. I'm not even going to commentate, I just want to hear it shoot.
He might be waiting a while, so you might want to talk just until that point.
Don't tell me what to do, Dad.
Otherwise, we're both going to be in trouble.
With Mom?
Yeah.
She's so mean.
Just to know that is the force buy back in response from Fnatic here. Only pistols. Draken will be dropped first, and it's actually Zeus to take the frag away. I think Edward did the majority of the damage there.
Yeah, we didn't even hear it. That's
I
how
know.
silent it was, okay?
That's the problem. Then we have to be on its POV to actually hear the beautiful sound.
It's so good.
It's surprising. Everyone seems to be using it. I'm going to wait until the end of the event. So that's
I still think it's novel. I also think that it's like not that much of an influential weapon to be like, oh, the MP7 is significantly better. Like it's movement mechanics, SMG, close range.
Yeah. And I guess it's an added bonus in silence as well, and it feels cool.
Yeah, exactly. It's probably like relatively inconsequential for most situations. Here we go.
What?
Oh, well, Simple.
Hello?
MP. No! Simple did realize JW got behind him. That was rather smart on his behalf. I thought he was going to die there. And now he has a CZ. It's dead, baby. That's Crims. He's gotten one. He's gotten Play Me. But Simple holds true. Holds on from Ruins. It's close. They lose the AK. I don't think they're going to get that back either. I think it's out of reach. So unfortunately, the AK doesn't stay on the CT side, which somewhat significant, but they control the round. They go 12-6, and they'll pull out more weapons.
They're going to go 13-6 because there ain't no cash for Fnatic here whatsoever. They're going to be broke. I'm just going to go check on the beaters. I think we've quite capped that as to who picks what. I wouldn't be surprised if this was the Fnatic pick, considering they had relatively good success at it. This is the map they beat Mouse Sports on earlier, I believe. So let's see if Fnatic picked this one. Struggling. Fnatic picked Inferno indeed. Na'Vi, they picked Train, and there's no way that Fnatic will beat them on Train. So this is really Fnatic's only chance in this series, I would say, is on Inferno, and Zeus is somehow in T-spawn, powdering bottoms, finding the bomb, and so good. That's going to be Scream left in a 3 versus 1 with Glock, no armor. So yeah, Train is what I...
Oh, okay, never mind. That was empty knife. Go ahead, sorry.
The Train considered to be one of the more tactical, or the most tactical map we have in the game. Throwing Scream in there, you could have the best aim in the world, but if you going against Na'Vi are very drilled in that map.
It's interesting that Train's kind of taken over that role as the most tactical map, because I remember when it first came in, and I remember thinking like, this is just. And it's interesting too, because even in 1.6 there was a certain element of tactics to it in terms of like smoke and execution, but like it used to be more about picks when Z connector and CT or at T side it was like straight facing.
Yeah, it's
so
just
much different now.
It's just the fact that the skybox is so open on that map. It allows you to be so diverse with your strategies to fakes
absolutely.
and stuff. That's for me the main reason, and the AWP factor as well. You can have multiple AWPs in that map and really get your heels stuck in on the CT side of the calling as the in-game leader, because you move the AWP around so much and have great setups. You have to read the game. That's what we like from Scream, but only good for one. 13-6 down, and Edward will fall back.
He will. Exactly that. Stay inside of the B side. Meanwhile, JW just checking out what's going on toward A. No one inside of the pit, by the way. Good find from Exist to take out Edward. Bomb still down toward T stairs, so they'll comfortably go back to get that. Flamey has to hold off the top side of middle and quad all by himself. In doing so, it allows Electronic to rotate earlier, but unfortunately they've already lost Simple, so Fnatic looking like they'll answer back if they remember to go get the bomb. Everyone seems to be hunting for the final kills. Make that kill, as Electronic is the last alive. Finally, Crim says, guys, you know what, just in case, let me go get that bomb.
Just in case. Got to be very careful these days. Electronic doesn't really have the money to justify going much more than for exit frags here. See whether he will do anything at all. I think he's just holding in Speedway right now, just underneath the canopy. On top of it, perhaps. There we go. Fnatic turning things up. Crims will close them down. I think that's an eco for Na'Vi as well. But like I said, they love a force buy. Zeus could even drop an AWP for Simple and just say, look, let's go see what you can do here. Close it out. Oh, there it is. Zeus did it. He buys the AWP. I knew they would. They love it. They can't get enough of force buying. So no need for this at all when you're 13-7 up. But why not, I guess. Let's see whether Simple can just finish things off right here, right now. I dare say he'll probably do it.
Oh, that's a bonus.
Did he get the run boost?
Yeah, he got a double run.
Not fully commit, though.
No. He didn't really strafe off the second jump.
Oh, just to know, they didn't fully force buy here. So this is like one of those tactical purchases, a classic example of it.
Yep.
This sort
This
of buy...
is the classic. It's simple.
Yeah, exactly. But with the AWP, this is more like Mousesports started doing this first with Oscar. Their full eco, just drop him an AWP and see what he can do. Simple's more known for giving drops an AK on the T side, and he'll go ham. But obviously still capable of doing it with the AWP as well. But let's see what he can do. They're going towards B. He doesn't want to fire off any shots until he has a guaranteed kill. Like, he didn't want to spam that half wall. He wants to make sure they run into his crosshair thinking they've got players with pistols up against them.
Smoke down top side of mid. Molotov completely missed. Scream, meanwhile, just waits inside of Banana. Interesting setup as well toward the apartments this time, as Zeus plays inside of the corner. Electronics actually bailed out, and Zeus has a Zeus, just to note. He's bailed off the balcony. That smoke will actually allow Zeus to get away. If this works, he thinks it's a flash. Didn't see him, but gets him anyway. AK picked up. Away he goes.
Here we go.
Zeus with a Zeus.
Oh, I knew you got there first.
I already said it beforehand too, Henry.
Simple with the AWP. I don't think we get the shot here. He had one on a play, but it looks like it's falling apart. And now Scream presumably takes him down, but of course he won't. Zeus actually gets his second frag. This is getting quite complicated as Edward comes out of new boxes, and these 4 spies, or not even that, the AWP.
It's done.
It is done. 9 seconds exists, has no chance here, and Simple will finish things off. Unbelievable scenes, how they always make these rounds work.
The only man who has a weapon named after him. And
Indeed.
it's what starts the round. Is that the same mouse you have now?
I think that's the older model. That's not the... I have the G Pro one.
Oh.
Other mice are available. Not sure who's sponsoring this one.
Logitech just
it's fine. The G Pro, yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
It's
Easy.
literally just scrolled
G
across
Pro,
the screen.
G Pro, new wireless one. Got that. It's absolutely brilliant. G Pro. That's the one I got. The new wireless Logitech one. It's fantastic. I'm in love with it. So check that out.
No cables.
No cables. 180 hours. Feels like other brands, I guess, in terms of like it's actually like every other mouse you're used to at the top level. It's not like a new shape or anything like that. It's very similar, and it's not too heavy. It's not too light.
That's the key for me, the heavy. I used to find the wireless ones
because
really
they had the
cumbersome.
batteries in that, yeah.
Yeah.
But now they've, I don't know what kind of
some people like a
there.
heavy mouse though, because some of the Logitechs used to come with weight kits. I think they still do. And some people used to run it like my brother used to run it max. I used to run it like empty. I like to really low. I'm really weak though, you know, very feeble arms. Linguini, I think Tarek called it.
Well, this could be the end
Maybe
of
that's Freakazoid. Can't remember.
Fnatic, probably. This could be the end of Fnatic in this map at least. Remember, it's Train next. That's probably going to be the 2-0 if they drop this one, and they'll be out of the tournament, just a note. Good grenades coming through. Oh my god, the damage. Draken took most of his from the incendiary, I believe, but the grenade hit him as well. And Simple, he's just relentless, isn't he? He wants all the kills.
Just fires while turning for the sake of it. And,
hits him!
And actually hit him. Takes Exist down to 27.
They're going to be so scared.
Zeus playing the smoke. Exist is risky, man. A naughty boy getting up on top of those logs with only 27 HP and tracers that show. Therefore, couldn't overstay his welcome. Climbs back down and gets away. Electronic, meanwhile, holding toward Graveyard, will sit with an M4 in hand and wait for JW to work his way toward the site. The apartments, his entry point. I like that Deagle, I don't know, who was that? I didn't see. That has like a little Steam Link on it.
A Steam Link?
Like it's part, it looks like the Steam Link, like the link in the chain that they used to use.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, don't mind me.
Electronic looks like he's going to shut this all down. He might even get a chance, but he's in a fantastic position to do so. Gets the penultimate kill there. Zeus close things out. This map's done. Pack it all up. Train, is it even worth playing it, Matt?
You know what? No, it's not. Let's go to get some ramen.
Okay, joking, of course, but I'm just putting into context that Fnatic, with a stand-in, I just don't see the other way. They're taking out one of the absolute best teams in the world right now. They had a couple of decent rounds here due to individual performances. I just don't think Train's even possible for them. Inferno is the only chance they had to take it to 3. But let's see what else they've got left. Pistols only. These are normally the sort of rounds that Fnatic will come out on top of. He's deployed. Oh, what a nade it is. More like a nuke. As Edward will be baited in here. And he might be able to get multiple frags. Good for one. Will they commit off it? They won't have a chance now because Zeus drops the incendiary.
Zeus Good timing to get back through the smoke, and it's actually not all 3 kills by him, but it might as well be, because Draken stole one away from him. He gets the 3rd in the end, he gets the hat trick, and the only trick left is to win on Train.
I think that's going to be quite the easy one for them. Inferno's a map every team knows how to play. It's quite easy to slip in an extra player there. You can make Scream play well on the B side, he can just roam on the T side with the AK-47. I think that face says it all. They're not really standing up and say, come on guys, we can do this. They might be the first team eliminated from the tournament going forward, and it's understandable. It's a difficult prospect going into a tournament like this with just one, well, losing one of your star players and bringing in someone who's never played the team before.
It's going to be difficult, as you said. It's a tactical map. We'll take a break, join the desk. They know all about tactics. We'll see you then.
ESL One, New York.